Picture this. It's Saturday morning. A guy is standing in his kitchen, cold coffee in his hand, and his eyes are just glued to his phone screen for like 11 straight minutes. The dishwasher's humming in the background, cartoons are playing in the other room, everything looks totally normal. But something just cracked inside his head. He's staring at this headline that reads, "By your mid-40s, the average person is nearly a millionaire." Now, he's 45 years old, and looking at his banking app, he is not even close. Suddenly, the real question bouncing around in his mind isn't actually about the money itself.
It's this: am I behind, or is the whole system lying? Man, that feeling hits like an absolute punch to the gut, doesn't it? I mean, you're showing up, you're doing all the right things, you're working incredibly hard, you're putting away what you can, maybe you've managed to scrape together enough to buy a house, but that nearly $1 million benchmark, it is completely, laughably out of sight. And when that happens, your brain naturally starts filling in the blanks. You start thinking, wow, everyone else out there must be secretly rich and they figured out some magic trick I missed. Or worse, something must be fundamentally wrong with me. Well, I am here to tell you today that something is wrong, but it is definitely not you.
Okay, let's dive into this. The entire problem, the whole reason you feel so behind, it all boils down to one single, deeply flawed mathematical concept that's being sold to you as reality. It's the word average. You see, the financial headlines absolutely love to use this word because, honestly, it creates massive attention-grabbing numbers. But when it comes to your personal finance, this word is actively working to destroy your peace of mind.
To understand why this is such a massive lie, we really have to look at the math. Averages are calculated by taking everyone's money, adding it all together in one giant pot, and then just dividing it evenly by the number of people. It sounds super fair, right? It sounds like it should give us a perfect picture of the typical person. But in a world with wild, extreme wealth inequality, the average becomes a completely distorted funhouse mirror. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine a room with 10 people in it. 9 of those people are completely flat broke. They have absolutely $0 to their name. But the 10th person? A literal billionaire. Maybe they invented a viral app, who knows. Now, if we calculate the average wealth of the people in this room, we add up that $1 billion divided by 10, and boom, suddenly the average net worth in this room is $100 million. Are those 9 people with $0 suddenly feeling like millionaires? No way. The math is technically correct, sure, but it is completely, entirely useless for understanding reality. One ultra-rich person massively inflates the numbers for every single other person.
So, to find the actual truth, we need to completely toss out the average and look at the median. The median is the reality right in the middle. Think of it like this. If you line up every single 45-year-old from the poorest to the absolute richest, the median is the person standing dead center. They aren't the richest, they aren't the poorest, they are just real.
So let's look at that person right in the middle. That real 45-year-old, their net worth is sitting at around $247,000. Just look at that number. It's not $1 million. It is not even close to $1 million. That giant, intimidating millionaire number you keep hearing about on podcasts and reading in articles, it's a total fantasy. It's an average artificially pumped up by the ultra-wealthy. This 247,000, that is the sobering, genuine reality of the middle of the pack.
Now, I want you to do something kind of uncomfortable right now, but trust me, it's absolutely crucial. I want you to psychologically engage with your own numbers. Just imagine opening up your banking apps right now on your phone. First, add up everything you own. Your savings, your investments, maybe the value of your car, your home's value. You got it? Okay, now step 2. Subtract everything you owe. Your mortgage, those pesky student loans, the credit card balances, the car loan, all of it. What you are left with after step 2, well, that brings us to step 3. That number is your unvarnished reality. That is your true net worth.
All right, take that number you just calculated in your head and let's see where it actually places you. If your number is below $48,000, you're in the bottom 25%. If you're sitting right around that $247,000 mark, congratulations, you are exactly in the middle. To break into the top 25%, you need around $680,000, and to hit that top 10%, you're looking at $1.4 million and above. And hey, by the way, if you're sitting on $8 million plus right now, you probably didn't need to click on this explainer today, but understanding these actual tiers, it's a real game changer because it pulls you out of that toxic fantasy comparison and grounds you in the actual data.
But wait, because here is the part nobody tells you, and honestly, it kind of twists the knife a bit. We have to understand what that 247,000 median actually consists of. For most people in their 40s, 60 to 70% of their wealth is entirely locked inside their house as home equity. It is not cash. It's not liquid. You literally cannot spend it. On a balance sheet, sure, it looks incredibly solid. But in real life, when the car breaks down or a massive medical bill hits or the roof starts leaking, you cannot walk into a repair shop and pay the mechanic with a slice of your living room. The usable, daily money is actually a much, much smaller fraction of that total number.
And that leads us straight into an even bigger shocker: retirement savings. This is where things get intensely real. The financial industry absolutely loves to push this common benchmark. By age 50, you should have 6 times your annual income saved for retirement. It sounds so perfectly reasonable, doesn't it, when some financial planner says it in a crisp, tailored suit? But let's contrast that intimidating fantasy benchmark with the grim reality on the ground. The typical person in their late 40s has only around $60,000 to $100,000 actually saved. Think about that. If you make $100,000 a year, you're supposed to have $600,000 saved. But the reality is, most people are hundreds of thousands of dollars away from that target.
And listen, that's just the median. For millions and millions of people out there, the reality is way more harsh. We're talking absolutely zero saved. No backup plan whatsoever. No financial cushion for emergencies. They are navigating their entire lives relying on just hope. If you're watching this and feeling totally behind right now, you really, really need to understand that you are not alone. Not by a long shot. Millions are walking a financial tightrope every single day with no safety net beneath them.
But here's what makes this whole situation even more frustrating, and frankly, why it's not entirely your fault. A massive chunk of this dynamic was literally never in your control. If you were building your life, trying to buy your first house, or starting to invest during the wrong chronological time, you just missed the easiest wealth windows. A past world of cheap housing, exploding stock markets, and once-in-a-generation economic opportunities, they came and they quietly went. And now, you are being judged by and expected to hit financial benchmarks that were designed for a completely different economic world that simply no longer exists. You've basically been running a race with a systemic disadvantage from day one.
Okay, let's take a collective breath here, because we are absolutely not ending this explainer on a downer. Because, despite the flawed averages, the locked-up equity, and those missed historical windows, this situation isn't hopeless. Far from it. Because right now, sitting exactly where you are today, you still have something incredibly powerful at your disposal. You have the ultimate equalizer: time. Now, it might not be unlimited time, but I promise you, it is enough time to completely rescue and reshape your financial future.
So here is the straightforward, totally actionable path forward. Step 1. You have to completely forget those fake averages. Just unsubscribe from the Millionaire benchmark guilt entirely. Step 2. Keep it incredibly simple. And Step 3. Invest consistently. Even if your window of time is smaller than you'd like, small, consistent investing, we're talking every single month without fail, that can still build something incredibly meaningful. It might not build you fantasy private jet wealth, but it will build you real options. It'll build you real security for your later years. The absolute biggest mistake you can make right now, the only real failure, is deciding that it's simply too late to start. The window might be smaller, yeah, but it is still wide open.
So, forget the noise. Forget comparing yourself to some fake mathematical equation designed to make you feel bad. In the end, this was never actually about where you stand on a chart today. It is entirely about where you're going to be if you actually start moving forward with clear eyes. The race to your financial security didn't start what society told you it did, but make no mistake, the race is still happening right now. The finish line is not going to wait for you. So, armed with the actual truth about your real net worth, where are you going next?